Good morning. It's January 28th. Is that right? I just looked at that. And it's Friday, so heading around the lake. And it's minus 15 this morning, so not too cold. Well, I've got my hood up just to start with anyway. Starting with the mic on too, although yesterday I noticed that it quit. And of course, all right, they plowed along here yesterday, so now we got this big pile of snow along the street. I really want my scarf on my face. I just want it close enough that I can pull it up if I want it. There we go. Sun will be up in about 15 minutes, less. So pretty close to sunrise here. Yes. And now the sidewalk, which has to be kept clear by bylaw, has old frozen snow. I mean, this is what comes off the street. Very, very hard. Once I get back from the walk, it's writing and editing day, like most of them are. Now, gimbal, come on. Come on. It's been doing that more and more often. Somehow failing to turn with me. Good, I have the external mic on, but yesterday it disconnected pretty quickly. I didn't see an error message, but I discovered it when I watched it later. Morning. The annoying thing yesterday was, in fact, I'm just going to touch the screen there to hopefully make sure it's in focus. Because I zoomed in on the sunrise, which was very lovely. If you didn't see it, you should look at yesterday's recording. When I zoomed out again, the camera didn't refocus. And I didn't think of it. And so there was a large chunk of yesterday's walk was horribly out of focus. In fact, I deleted it. It's still there on the live stream recording, but I deleted it for my playlist recording, which is what's taken directly from that's pretty, taken directly from the phone, so it doesn't have any buffering in it as well, and it's higher resolution. Oh, we do have some hoarfrost this morning in that pretty pink sky. Look at that. I'd zoom in, but then I'd be out of focus for the rest of the walk. Walk down the middle of the road, get a better look at it. Winter Wonderland here. That car's probably turning, but I'll get on the sidewalk all the same. Well, let's see what happens we see when we get onto the lake side itself. I'll walk in that direction to begin with, just because the sky's so pretty. That sort of pale pink which continues all the way around, will disappear as the sun comes up, of course, which will be in just a few minutes. Now, for some reason, the gimbal seems to be on an angle. Well, I know better than to try to play with that. Like Papa used to say, I am what I am. My recording, it is what it is. Maybe if I had 1,000 subscribers and was actually making money, I'd do something about my equipment, but I am getting close to 300 subscribers though, so thank you to everyone who subscribes. There you go, and the mic is off, so I'll just remove it. And I won't, I mean, I keep saying this and I keep thinking, well, maybe it'll work. But I think I've just about had it. I'm just going to rely on the iPhone mic from now on. All right, so we go under the, can do what I did before I tried to get an external mic. Oh yeah, it's getting very bright over there. Which is put a little cotton ball over the mic, try to keep down the wind noise on a windy day. When it's not windy, it actually works pretty well. Also, it's in stereo, which is interesting. Gives a bit more of that ambiance. Ambient sound, I mean. Quite as faded with frost as the last couple of times I've been down here. The murals here. Well, what counterclockwise today, because I think I did clockwise last time. Again, here's a bit of hoarfrost this morning, so that's nice. Sun will be up over that direction in a few minutes. That, of course, is the Saskatchewan Legislative Building dead ahead. There's lights on at the rink over there. I walked by last time. There is a winter festival coming up, which will be having events out here. Good morning, whoever that is. All it says is, hey. Good morning. Hey. Hey. Hey, good morning. This bridge and dam creates the lake. Sometimes I walk up by the ledge, but I think I'll stick to the path this morning. Yeah, those bright lights there are the ones that are lighting up the rink. Bit of a crescent moon up there to the right of the Legislative Dome. Quite a bit to the right and up. We're close to it. We'll see the sun before long, I would think. It's supposed to be at 8:39 and it's 8:30, almost 8:34 on my watch. So about 5 minutes to sunrise. You can see there's a bit of hoarfrost in the trees, looking back that way. The sun will probably light that up nicely once it comes up. Here's the rink. Rink on Wascana. If there's an easy path down there, I could walk down to the boards. Is this a path? No, I think the path must just be up there by the warming shed. I mean, people have gone that way. Here's the legislative building. Still got some lights on it this time of morning. Here's the path. Go down and take a look. Now we're on the ice. Nice rink. Clearly they flood it once in a while, or it would quickly become too rough. There's the rules. No smoking or drinking of alcoholic beverages. No smoking or drinking of alcoholic beverages could be read as saying you're not allowed to smoke alcoholic beverages, but I don't know what they meant. Walking on the ice here, slippery of course. No access beyond this point. Well, I didn't want to go beyond that point anyway. And this takes you into the warming shed, change area. On your skates, putting on your skates, bit by bit. Okay. On towards sunrise. Second star to the right and straight until sunrise. A little bit of hoarfrost, as I said. Not by any means the heaviest hoarfrost I've ever seen, but it's still pretty. Yes, that horizon should be level, and it's not. But there's nothing we can do about it. The gimbal has a mind of its own. You know, look at the hoarfrost. Please don't focus on it, gimbal. Here, let me touch my nose to the screen again. Make sure it keeps focusing off in the distance. Very pretty, actually. As the sun comes up, there's enough for us to really give it that winter wonderland effect. It's probably just formed by ice fog from cars and chimneys and things hanging over the city overnight. There's the dogs. All these dogs taking up the whole path. Running. That one's wearing boots. This is the United Empire Loyalists monument. Or as we call them in the States, traitors. On your point of view, walking directly towards the sun does not mean we're walking east, because it's actually southeast. The snow, you clear off the path, you got to pile somewhere. Jetcon trail up there too, catching the sun up high. Roberts Plaza, directly ahead of us, apartment building. echo. It's a lovely morning. A touch of hoarfrost. No wind. No microphone, because I'm pretty much giving up on that. Hopefully in focus. And then, I don't know. I'm pushing 300 of these things, and I still find new problems. I think they'd all be perfect these days. We're down by the east end of the ledge here in the Trafalgar Fountain. Coming through the trees, and there she blows. Yeah, you can see the hoarfrost nicely in that direction. And there's the sun. It should be up over the horizon. Hasn't cleared the trees yet, but it should be up. So, good morning from Saskatchewan. Ooh, the path slopes down a little, and throw in a rough patch of ice going that direction. My foot went a little sideways. You've heard of things going sideways. That can literally happen on ice. Your feet go sideways, and you're in trouble if they slip far enough. Another nice look at the sunrise across the lake. Bench, but it doesn't look very comfortable right now, being almost up to the seat in snow. Morning.
Morning.
Here comes the old guys. I've seen them before. Morning.
One of the condo meetings.
Morning. They weren't out on those minus 35, 40 days when I walked around the lake. But otherwise, they're almost always out and about in the morning. That's the Holodomor monument to the Stalinist genocide of Ukrainians. Russia, Ukraine. Long history there. I'm afraid we're about to see more of it. Who's that? Usman? Hello. It's about minus 15 this morning, so not too cold by our standards. Going to minus 8. What is that in Fahrenheit? I always like to figure it out. 15 times 9 is 135. 135 divided by 5 is 15. That can't be right. No, yeah, it is though. Anyway, that would make it 17 degrees Fahrenheit. No, that's wrong. Obviously that's wrong. It's got to be more like, go the other way. It's got to be about 5 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's right. Show your work. Do that again. So. Oh, right, of course, because 5 into 135 isn't 15, it's 27 is what it is. And then minus 32 minus 27 is 5. There you go. That little bit of blood that's not going to my brain because it's going to my legs seems to interfere with calculation. I've noticed that before when I'm walking. I'm actually pretty good at doing math in my head. Well, simple math, not calculus. I never learned calculus. We didn't have it in high school when I was in high school. And the highest level math class I took was statistics, which was useful for a journalist, or would be. I don't think anybody, most journalists don't know it or know anything about statistics. But I have a low opinion of journalism these days, so. I'm not sure why I showed snow up there. Guess it had to go somewhere, but it seems odd. It's too late now, but it would have been a nice morning for a no-talking walk around the lake. But I've talked too much now to make that happen, so I just have to put up with my blather. See, somewhere along the way, the horizon leveled out again. I don't know how it decides. I've cleared the path since last Friday. It's much wider. This is way wider than the sidewalk. Which is under here somewhere. Should go walk over on the south part of Wascana Center again one of these days. And this weekend I have to go out to the way out to the east end, so I may walk out there because I've never walked that far east as I'll be going. Pick something up, so I might combine those two things. Maybe tomorrow. Out around Chuka Boulevard. I may take Sunday off because I do like having one day off. I've realized. We'll see. I don't know yet. My nose is running. Just thought you'd like to know. If I sniff, that's why. More people when it's a little bit warmer. Difference between minus 15 and minus 25 is quite large. Way more people willing to come out at this temperature than at the former. Morning. I still haven't actually seen the sun, but I know it's over there. However, we're about to turn away from it, so it'll be behind us once we get around the corner up here a little bit further. Oh, there's the sun. The actual sun, I think. There's some cloud too, so low on the horizon. Caution. Not subject to ice thinning. Yes, it is. I know. It's a fairly steep slope down, so gotta be careful. Oh yeah, just starting to pick up the hoarfrost nicely on the opposite shore there. We'll get a better look in a minute. Morning. Here's a good view. That's pretty. So yeah, the sun's lighting the dome there and lighting up downtown a little bit. January's almost over. Spring is only like 7 weeks away, officially. Won't be long before I'm not walking in the snow again. Pine Island there. They don't clear the paths over there, so I haven't been going over there. Oh, where's all the birds? Every other time I've walked by, there's been hundreds of birds here. Not a sign of them now. Huh, where are they? And the gimbal's not really responding properly. I want to point that way. See the pretty trees on the other shore. And the sun's over there. It feels like it's moved, but no, it's just the way that the path winds. Pretty sure it hasn't moved. That would make news. And probably, if something was making the sun move around in our sky, we were probably not long for this world, literally. I mean, our orbit had gone wildly askew. Cleared nice and clear too. Okay, once we turn the corner up here, the sun will mostly be behind us for the rest of the walk back. Oops. Now what are you doing, gimbal? It's definitely acting weird. Is that the next thing I'm going to have to replace? I've already replaced it once. Nice view with the hoarfrost. Love Street Bridge. I should go over and walk on that side too, go down to the university sometime soon while the snow's still around. I haven't been to university since classes started, so that was September, so it's been a while. I've had requests. It's always popular walks when I go to the university. People who are planning to become as students like to see what they're getting into, I guess. We'll go down past the marina, I think. It's cleared enough down there. At least it was last week. It shouldn't have gotten any worse. Should have gotten better. Come on, gimbal. I would look that way at Pine Island. Wasn't looking at my feet, almost tripped. This pile is bigger than it was last week, I think. A little mini mountain there with a peak at this end. Restaurant in front of us, Bar Willow. There's a deck that they have an enclosed tent in there with heating, so you can actually eat on the deck even this time of year. Not that we have, but I know you can. Smoke over there, our steam is coming from the powerhouse. The legislature has its own powerhouse. I don't know what other buildings around there it provides power for. This is where the rowers hang out. Not a lot of rowing going on right now. Nicely sanded. Maybe that lone patch of open water is finally completely gone, and that's why the birds have left. I don't know that they'll make it anywhere better if they're just now flying south, but I can't babysit them. Past this guy on the other side of the lake, I believe. It's coming towards us now. recognize the way he walks. Hi.
I watched your video one time after I talked to you last
Oh, yes.
time. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's fun to do.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, see, last week there was still a patch of open water here, over here I guess, and it's like it's completely frozen over and there's no birds on it. Last week there were still birds. And I couldn't figure out how it was staying open, and now it hasn't. So, I don't know exactly how that worked. I had a theory that maybe there was an aeration pump or something under there. But if so, it must be off, because that was still full of birds 1 week ago. Nice view with the hoarfrost though now, over there and around the lake. Again, one of these mornings we'll probably get much better hoarfrost. I hope, because that's always pretty. Down through the bushes there. HMCS Queen, landlocked ship. The naval cadets hang out. Queen I get, as I've mentioned before. I believe the one in Saskatoon is called the HMCS Unicorn. And whereas the Queen has something to do with the Queen City, Regina after all is Latin for Queen, if you pronounce it right, which we don't. I don't know what connection a unicorn has with Saskatoon. Perhaps it was just a name that was next up when they decided to name it. It's probably a unicorn in the British Navy. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around the town. Of course, the unicorn there represents Scotland. That doesn't mean in the UK, United Kingdom, there wouldn't be a ship named Unicorn. I'll have to look that up. Probably if you go to the HMCS Unicorn webpage, assuming I'm not completely misremembering the name of the naval building in Saskatoon, and it's not Unicorn, but I think it is. Hopefully it explains where the name came from. Willow Island over there, the one you could go to and rent for picnics and such like. Walk to it right now. Probably somebody has, although you don't see a lot of footsteps on the ice. between the fairly deep snow and the slippery undersurface, it wouldn't be a pleasant walk. Snowshoes, maybe. Wouldn't be a bad place to snowshoe. Hello again.
Again? But I get a good feeling.
Sun's starting to light up more of the hoarfrost there. And the tree in front of us.
That was first one.
Okay, we're probably 3/4 of the way around. 2/3 anyway. Now it's just down the north side of the lake and home. This is where you would take a boat to Willow Island if you were going to do such a thing. There's steps down to the lake here and a landing for boats. Very popular parking lot for those utilizing the lake. We're walking around it. Parking lot that figures prominently in Song of the Sword, the first book in my young adult fantasy series, Shards of Excalibur. ShardsofExcalibur.com if you want to check it out. Which all begins right here. But it's not frozen at that time in the story. Lady of the Lake shows up there and tells my character she's now the Lady of the Lake and has to find the scattered shards of Excalibur with the help of a boy who seems to be there by accident. Before Merlin can, he's the bad guy in the story. In his modern day guise as Rex Major, computer magnate, CEO of Excalibur Computer Systems. I think so. On which much of the internet rests in my alternate version of the world. Which is important because it means the kids can't use their cell phones or computers as much as they would normally, especially cell phones, which always makes it easier to tell stories these days if you can somehow get rid of the technology, cell phones. As I've often said, most episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer wouldn't work if people could just text each other. There's the college building over there, which I walked nearby the last couple of weeks, a couple of times. Morning. There's a big crane over here. That's where they're working on the new swimming pool. Saw it all the way across the lake. Actually, it's easier to see across the lake. Behind the trees here. take down my hood to start cooling off my head before I get home. Well, maybe in a minute. There's the lake again, and the legislative building again, and the Rincon Wascana again. And the sun again, rising over Willow Island from this direction. Morning again. See some sparkles on the hoarfrost over here now in the sun. If you look close. Take off my top, not my top, but my but if I could just get it unsnapped. There we go. To cool down a little bit. My shadow, of course, in front of me. Definitely working up there on the pool. I hear equipment. I noticed the hoarfrost was heavier on those trees back there. It's probably because it's close to the lake. Oh no, that doesn't make sense. I was thinking because of fog rising off the lake, but obviously the lake's frozen solid. There's no fog rising off of it, so forget I said that. Another look back across the frozen lake. This is all stuff scraped off the pathway here. Frost against a bright blue sky is always pretty. Again, it's sparkling like diamonds in the trees. I can see them. I don't know how well that registers on the camera. The sparkling. Yeah, having done that, look, I made my horizon really crooked again. What if we look back that way? Will it settle down? Figure it out. Yeah. Maybe a little bit better. Nope, still quite crooked. Oh well. Gimbal's not as smart as I am. I'd be worried if it was. If it was smarter than me, that'd be really embarrassing. Okay, back under the bridge, just a couple of more blocks to home. So, one last look at the lake and the hoarfrost. Can't quite get the perfect frame there. Trying to get the sun and the ledge without tree branches in front of it. And right about there is about the best I can do before the sun disappears behind that tree. Of course, go straight across into the sun here. It's nice and wintry, that. Okay, goodbye to the lake. Oh, comment bot. Here, I thought I was going to get all the way through this without one. Under the overpass, I guess, or through the underpass. Certainly an overpass. Definitely an underpass. An overpass lifts you up and over a path. An underpass takes you under a path. So they're not the same thing. Quite. If you assume that the thing you are going over or under is the main path, that determines whether what you're on is an overpass or an underpass. If the passes are equal, like on a freeway, then I guess it depends on which way you're driving. Hello, Madeline. Sun's not up and very foggy. Well, the sun's been up now for coming up on 45 minutes, 40 minutes. And sunny, although there was enough probably ice fog last night to give us a little bit of hoarfrost. Again, they scraped the residential streets yesterday, and so now we've got these big piles of ugly frozen chunks of like this all over the place. They only scrape it onto one side. Some places they can avoid the sidewalk. Some places they can't, so they scrape it up. Our Crescent, you can only park on one side, so they scrape it up on the non-parking side. Leopold Crescent up here, you can park on both sides, so I don't know what they do there. Plus, it wasn't like they told us not to park. If you hadn't looked it up, you'd have no idea that the snow piles were going to show up yesterday. I had looked it up and I forgot. Looks like they've got both sides scraped where they can, but what did they do with cars? Just leave the spot where they were? Yeah, basically. Ooh. So they scraped both sides, but only where they could. They have grade school ahead of us. In our Crescent, since you can't park on this side anyway, they were able to scrape everything to this side of the street. Almost home. All right, so I'll stop here. Come down, gimbal. There we go. Thanks for walking with me. As I said, I may be way out on the east end tomorrow to do my walk, and so I have to pick something up out there. So I'm thinking I'll walk when I'm out there. So that'll be different. That's it for today. Bye for now.